Each hair coloring service is unique and can present unique challenges. To give each service a good start, adequate time should be allowed in order to complete a thorough consultation and analysis, patch tests, and strand tests. Even the most skilled colorist will occasionally encounter problems that could not have been predicted. The good news is, most mistakes made during a hair color service can be resolved or corrected as long as the colorist remains calm. We will focus this lesson on pages 701 through 709. Our learning objectives for this lesson are to know the rules of color correction and to know the safety precautions to follow during the hair color process. Gray hair is caused by a reduction of pigment molecules in the cortical layer. Gray hair can sometimes present coloring challenges. Many times gray hair can develop a yellow cast. Understanding the reasons causing the discoloration will help to identify the methods needed to correct the issue. Some of the most common reasons why hair turns yellow is because it was not allowed to process completely during a lightening process. The client may be a smoker, the client may be on medications that cause buildup on the hair, the client may be spending too much time in the sun and the UV rays could be causing discoloration, or even some styling products that contain a lot of alcohol can cause a yellowing buildup on the hair. For most of these issues, a clarifying shampoo can be used to remove product buildup, or a lightening process can rid the hair of these yellow tones. If neither of these methods work, then tone the hair using a violet-based semi or demi-permanent color to neutralize the yellow cast. Remember, when formulating for gray hair, you must account for the percentage of gray hair versus colored hair. For hair that is less than 25% gray, formulate your color 2 levels lighter than the desired level. For hair that is more than 75% gray, formulate at the desired level. Remember to always use 20 volume for maximum coverage. Some gray hair is so resistant that even when formulation, application, and timing are all correct, you may find that the coverage is still not adequate. In such cases, remember to pre-soften the hair by applying a 20 volume developer to the resistant hair using the retouch application method. Let the pre-softener process for 15 to 20 minutes. Mix and apply the color formulation over the top of the pre-softener that is still on the hair. Process according to the record card and strand test. Sometimes the color may not turn out as expected. Although this can seem disastrous for your client, and for you, it need not be. Problems can always be corrected. Keep the following guidelines in mind when things go awry. Do not panic. Remain calm, cool, and collected. Determine the problem. Determine what caused the problem. Develop a solution to the problem. Take everything one step at a time. Never guarantee exact results. Always strand test. Damaged hair will create a variety of problems during a hair coloring service. Therefore, hair should be healthy enough to receive the service. If it is not, advise the client to skip the hair color and recommend that the client seek out conditioning and reconstructive treatments in order to get the hair back into a healthy enough state in which these types of services will not more adversely affect the integrity of the hair. Hair is considered damaged when it has one or more of the following characteristics: rough texture, overporous condition, brittle and dry to the touch, susceptible to breakage, no elasticity, spongy or matted when wet, color grabs too dark, or fades too quickly. When providing hair coloring services on hair in any of these conditions, many times, the hair color will not take on the hair properly, either becoming too dark, too light, or too drab, or they compromise the integrity of the hair even more, causing more damage and more breakage. Fillers are used to equalize porosity. Some may be ready to use, provided by a manufacturer, while others may be a mixture of hair color and conditioner that your instructor can help you prepare. Conditioning fillers are used to recondition damaged, overly porous hair, and to equalize porosity, so that the hair accepts hair color evenly from strand to strand, from scalp to ends. Color fillers are used to equalize porosity and deposit color in one application to provide a uniform contributing pigment that complements the desired final color result. All 3 primary colors must be present for a hair color to look natural. When trying to restore a hair color back to a more natural-looking color, it is essential to replace the missing primary or secondary color. For yellow blonde hair, use a violet-based filler to neutralize the heavy yellow tones to create a more natural-looking blonde. Orange-looking hair can be neutralized with blue. Color fillers are applied directly from the containers to the hair prior to coloring. Red hair colors are exciting, fun, and vibrant, and an often requested color service. Unfortunately, reds tend to fade. Fading is common, but there are some ways to counteract fading as much as possible. Once hair has been colored with a permanent red hair color, a colorist should always use a demi-permanent color to refresh the faded hairing ends. Permanent color should only be used to retouch the new growth. When using red hair color on gray hair, it is a must to include a small amount of neutral. Gray hair has lost its melanin, so essentially, it is white hair. Red and white make what color? Pink. Correct. Your client didn't ask for pink hair. You must replace those neutral pigments, along with the red, in order for the hair color to take properly. Make certain to educate the client about proper water temperatures when shampooing their hair. The hotter the water, the more the cuticle layer will open, and the faster the hair color will fade. To avoid orange or brassy tones, when lifting brown hair with permanent color, always use a color with a cool blue or green base. To avoid brassiness when lifting browns, only lift up to 2 levels above the natural level. And again, when covering gray, always add neutral. When lifting hair for blonde tones, there will almost always be warm tones revealed. Neutralize those unwanted warm tones with a complementary base color. Enhance wanted undertones by using an adjacent color in the color family. When covering gray hair with a blonde hair color, formulate for a level 7 or darker, and always add neutral. If the hair appears dull and faded, refresh the color by mixing a demi-permanent color of the same tonal family within 2 levels. Process up to 10 minutes. Some clients love to spend the summer in the pool and will come to you complaining about how their blonde hair turned green. A green tone is a sign of mineral buildup or chlorine. Clarify the hair with a clarifying shampoo to remove this buildup. Then use a demi-permanent color to neutralize any remaining unwanted tones. There are often times, after a hair color process, the hair color is too light. To solve this issue, mix and apply a demi-permanent color that is 1 or 2 levels darker than the previous formula. Other times, the final hair color may be too dark. Resolve this problem either by adding in a few highlights or using a color remover. If you only need to lighten a level or 2, prepare a mixture of lightener with 20 volume developer and an equal amount of shampoo and apply as a shampooing solution to loosen up and shampoo out some of the color molecules. Restoring a client's blonde hair back to its naturally darker color can be tricky. The client is not used to seeing the darker color on herself, and doing so may be quite a shock to the client. When doing so, there are a few steps to make this process as seamless as possible. If the new growth is a level 6 or darker, apply a level 6 violet-based, permanent color, or if the new growth is a level 7 or lighter, apply a level 8 violet-based, permanent color, with 20 volume, to the new growth area, and process for 20 minutes. After the new growth has been properly treated, apply a demi-permanent glaze mixture of 1 ounce level 8 neutral blonde and 1 ounce level 9 red-orange blonde. Apply to the hair, not to the scalp, process for 20 minutes. This will turn the hair a reddish gold color. Do not panic. Mix the final deposit color glaze. Apply thoroughly from scalp to ends, process for 20 minutes, shampoo, condition, dry, and style. As with everything we do, we need to be mindful of the safety of the client and the sanitation standards in our salons. Here are a few safety precautions for hair coloring services to keep in mind. Always perform a patch test. Ensure consultations and analysis are completed, and do not proceed with coloring services if vibrations are present. Do not apply an oxidative hair color or product over any metallic color. Do not brush the hair and scalp prior to a color service. Read all manufacturer's directions to ensure proper mixtures and processing times. Always use clean, disinfected bowls, bottles, and brushes. Follow all safety precautions for yourself as well as the client. Ensure you wear gloves to prevent staining and chemical irritations, properly drape the client, and use protective creams around the hairline. Perform preliminary strand tests to ensure good results. Do not pre-mix color. Use any mixed color immediately and discard any leftover color product. Be careful to not overlap color. Overlapping products can cause the hair to break off at the line of demarcation.